Okay, call the meeting to order. Let's do the flag. Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mary, you want to do the power check? We're good?
Yeah,
We're good.
I'm fine.
Okay, we had minutes from January 2025.
Mhm.
They were sent to us a while back. Anybody have any comments?
No,
No.
I'll make the motion that we accept the minutes.
I'll second that. All right, motion to accept January's minutes. Motion and second. Any further discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, correspondence seems to be a big blank, right, Amy? Old business, I will say something on old business. We approved the Scouting of America thing.
Mhm.
They still haven't brought maps, so eventually I'll sign it when they bring it.
All right, we didn't bring them.
They haven't come in yet.
Oh.
So, anyway, just wanted to let you know. So tonight we have an application through Jim Crowley for SVG 8 Realty for the parcel 419. You all have one in front of you, I'm sure.
And at this point, I'll recuse myself.
Goodbye, Mike.
Process.
I know.
See you later. I don't think we need to read everything here, because you all have your own copy. Basically, they're going to rent to or something, Hudson Valley Credit Union. Hudson Valley Credit Union. Anybody have any questions for Steve?
Ken, the only thing I have, the application says, that it was to modify the vacant previously a law office spot. But we had changed that back in May to an eating and drinking establishment.
Well, it never got opened.
Okay,
So is that the only reason why we have to do this? Because it was changed to a eating and,
But no, even if it was still the law.
Right.
Yeah, you still would have to, yeah.
Has that been going over a year?
Entirely different use, it's got different parking
Yeah.
requirements.
okay,
But it's a special use, and it's allowable.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, would anybody like to declare us lead agency?
I'll make a motion that we become lead agency.
oh, second,
Motion on the floor that the planning board be lead agency on this application for SVG Realty. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I think we're next up to reading our short environmental assessment.
Yes. Ready?
Ready?
Go.
I take it now?
No, not, I did it right.
No.
Okay. The name of the action or project is the Hudson Valley Credit Union. The project location is 6606 State Road, 97 Narrowsburg, New York. Brief description of the proposed action: change previous law office to accommodate the credit union. The name of the applicant or sponsor is Steve Guidaretti, and his address is 178 Delaware Drive, Narrowsburg, New York, 12763. Number one, does the proposed action only involve the legislative adoption of a plan, local law, ordinance, administrative rule, or regulation? No. Number two, does the proposed action require permanent approval or funding from any other government agency? If yes, list the agency's name and permit or approval. They check no. Number three, the total acreage of the site of the proposed action is 0.78 acres. The total acreage to be physically disturbed, 0 acres. C, total acreage, project site and any contiguous properties owned or controlled by the applicant or project sponsor, 0.78 acres. Number 4, check all land use that occur on or adjoining or near the proposed action. They check rural, commercial, and forest. Number 5, is the proposed action a permitted use under the zoning regulation? They check yes. Consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan? They check yes. Is number 6, is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built or natural landscape? They check yes. Number 7, is the site of the proposed action located in or does it adjoin a state-listed critical environmental area? If yes, identify. They check yes and bald eagles. Number 8, A, will the proposed action result in a substantial increase in traffic above present levels? They check no. B, are public transportation or services available at or near the site of the proposed action? They check no. C, are any pedestrian accommodations or bicycle routes available on or near the site of the proposed action? They check no. 9, does the proposed action meet or exceed the state energy code recommendation requirements? They check yes. Number 10, will the proposed action connect to any existing public or private water supply? They put no, they have a well. Number
So
11.
that could be,
be
yes.
both-
Would that
be
be?
yes.
Mhm. Is
Mhm.
it connecting to your own
Yeah.
water supply?
Yeah.
Private,
Mhm,
maybe by private, they meant a commercial
Commercial.
one, but anyway.
okay.
We got it.
Number 11, will the proposed action connect to the existing wastewater utilities? They check yes. Number 12, does the project site contain or substantially contiguous to a building, an archaeological site, or district which is listed on the National or State Register or Historic Places, or that has been determined by the Commission of the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, Historic Preservation to be eligible for listing on the state register or historic place? They check no. Is the project site or any portion of the located in or adjacent to an area designated as a sensitive for archaeological sites on the New York State Historic Preservation Archaeological Site Inventory? They check no. Number 13, does any of the portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by the federal, state, or local agency? They check no. B, would the proposed action physically alter or encroach into or any existing wetland or water body? They check no. Number 14, identify the typical habitat types that occur on or are likely to be found on the project site. Check all that apply. They checked forest. Number 15, does the site of the proposed action contain any species of animal or associated habitats listed by the state or federal government as threatened or endangered? They checked yes, and that would be bald eagles. Eagles?
So,
I would assume so, right? Eagles.
on the
Okay.
first page, it was bald eagles, so why wouldn't it be on the second?
I don't know. Bald eagles. Okay. 16, is the project site located in the 100-year flood? They checked no. Number 17, will the proposed action create stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources? They checked no. A, will the stormwater discharge flow to adjacent properties? No. B, will the stormwater discharge be directed to established conveyance system, runoff, or storm drains? If yes, they checked yes. Okay,
Yeah, I guess
So-
they want a description for the yes.
yes,
That would be the state highway,
all right, we're gonna put
Ditch,
state
right?
highway, yep.
State Route 97. Yeah.
18, does the proposed action include construction or other activities that would result in the impoundment of water or other liquids? They check no. 19, has the site of the proposed action or adjoining property been been the location of an active or closed solid waste management facility? They check no. 20, has the site of the proposed action or adjoining property been the subject of remediation, ongoing or completed for hazardous waste? They check no. Besides the, applicant, okay.
You ready to do part two, Kristen? I
Okay,
guess we need to
part two.
accept part one, right?
Yes, we have to make the motion.
We can make a motion to put it in.
We have to make a motion.
You're making it.
Oh, okay.
Is that what
I'll
you
make,
said?
yes, I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second
part
that.
one. Yep,
Have a motion to accept the seeker part one for SVG 8 Realty. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Am I reading that or you're reading it?
now Crystal's gonna pull it up
Okay,
first.
all right.
I think she's got it up. It just hasn't moved. Keep ready. Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah,
I'll read it.
you're gonna fill that one in, you should go.
You'll fill it in or you want to fill it in? Okay, you're filling online, okay, all right,
I'll fill in the pen.
all right,
I got it.
ready? This is the secret part two, impact assessment. Number one, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use planning or zoning regulation? No small
No
impact.
small impacts.
Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of the use of the land?
No.
Small or no impact.
No,
Okay.
small, yeah.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No or small action. Will the proposed action, number four, I'm sorry, will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? No. Number five, will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? No.
Yeah. They hope they're that busy.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
There's
I
that-
think
that would be nice. Number six, will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
Another small impact.
Number seven, will the proposed action impact the existing A, public and private water supply?
No,
No. B, public and private wastewater treatment utilities?
no,
Number eight, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
no,
No. Will the proposed action result in the adverse change to natural resources? Example, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, or fauna?
no,
Number 10, will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
no,
11, will the proposed action create a hazard to the environmental resource or human health? No. Okay. Ready? Good. Check this box if you have determined based on the information analysis above and any supporting documentation that the proposed action may result in one or more potential large or significant adverse impacts. An environmental impact statement is required.
no.
No.
Don't check that.
We don't check that. Check the box if you determined based on the information analysis above, any supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. That we will check. You signing?
I'm doing this so she has one.
Okay,
I'll let you do everything else.
okay, thank you.
There should be a motion to
Yes, we'll do that.
check that box.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we check the box that we have determined based on information analysis above, any supporting documents that proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts.
I'll second that motion. Have a motion on the floor to accept part 2, 3 of the environmental assessment forms. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Guess you can sign it. So
Thank you so much.
I signed my part.
You sign your part, okay.
Yeah.
Signature there, that's me?
Yeah.
Okay. Anywhere else? Got my name,
No, print my name,
oh, right here, Ken,
custom plan.
okay. Name of lead engine, Tustin, right, Tustin, mhm. And you are Kenny Man, right?
And that over to Amy.
There you go.
Okay, next public hearing, I think we're up to. So, can we meet on our regular date, like 3 weeks? So probably with that.
We get it published, that's because you gotta get it's gonna be published at least 5 days
And
before.
the county needs 30 days. on
But you do need 30 days for the 239 review on this.
So if we get back on schedule, do we have a special meeting next month, the same night? And then maybe we won't need another meeting, I don't know. That sounds good to me. I think that,
I think your biggest holdup would be the county turning that
county.
around.
yeah, but they're pretty good about it.
They've been good, but-
UDC is useless.
I was just gonna add, because that's the other thing, I think we have to refer this to the UBC, also,
Right,
do.
They don't get back for months,
but you should still make the referral.
yeah.
Okay,
But
Which time frame?
for that?
no, nothing, no, I'm just looking, so can we have to then,
so we would do.
I forget what the river manager.
Oh, that's a long
They've got a time frame of this.
3, 4, that's almost 5 weeks.
But if you look at the
hear
from them, can you move forward?
Can we do,
It's supposed to give you a response.
can we do April 1st?
Now this game, I'm asking on another topic, it's really sensitive, so.
Yeah, they're not meeting first Tuesday, so we should. be able to have them.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
So that's considered 4 weeks.
yeah,
1, 2, 3.
well, that's not 30
No,
days.
that's not 30 days.
I think it's 30 days from when they receive it. Not 30 days from tonight, it's 30 days from when they
I
receive it.
guess it has to be
Either
that, or we go back to a regular night.
And that would be not till 2nd. That's fine.
Anybody have any feeling of what we can do here? I mean, April 8th, or do we wait till the 22nd?
3.
Or do we say prayers and we get nothing to the 22nd?
Can we make it contingent on the fact that we hear back from them? Why not, well.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You don't know what's gonna happen, if you might get an application for something else
Yeah,
for your April meeting.
then we'll have. to
I'm sorry,
have
your regular March meeting night. So maybe you ought to keep your March meeting night as would be.
So that,
And if this happens to come in back from the county by then, you can
Yeah,
take
but
it
they
up
don't
on
have you can't do the notices in time.
for the public hearing.
We can.
Yeah, you
in the
can, for the
Democrat-
public hearing, you can,
In the Democrat.
but you only
Yeah,
need
they've
5
gotta
days.
they've gotta do their letters.
They have to do their mailing, yeah.
You got a quick secretary?
to me.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Fran asked me to ask this. She couldn't be here tonight. She's got a bad throat infection, but she kind of wanted to know why this couldn't be a one meeting decision.
I
Based
guess
on,
because the
based
way
on
the
the fact
state-
that we went through, you know, all of this already with.
For a
salaries.
for a different use, for a different application.
But, so what is it, how is it different?
That was a special use application for an eating and drinking establishment. The fact that it never came to fruition is irrelevant. The bottom line is now they have an application to turn it into a bank. It's an entirely different application. It's an entirely different use.
Okay.
The standards some of the standards for what, for example, like the parking standards are different.
The other thing is the tenant is anxious to get in there. because-
There's not a provision in the New York State enabling law or the town code that says the anxiousness of the applicant
I
is
understand.
relevant.
I just thought that the two were similar, but you're making it clear that they're not.
Yeah, I mean, they're not, and the
Okay.
process is the process. And by the way, if they overlook the process and they don't follow it, they're not doing anybody a favor, including the applicant, because if somebody gets a burr up their backside and challenges it, it can all get stopped right in its tracks and,
Oh, no,
and the
we're
couple
well-
of weeks you're worried about are gonna turn into months.
Yeah, we're well aware of that. So,
you know, I mean, I don't know that anybody, but
Janine, you know to
you
bring
just,
us
you
the
can't operate.
jobs next time.
Say that again?
You'll know to bring us the return receipts next time for the meeting. For the certified
mailing
letters
the
you're sending
certified
out,
ones.
you mail them. Everybody within 500 feet.
Okay.
Probably have the list before.
So we're gonna keep the original meeting for, the original planning board meeting for the last Tuesday of the month, which is the
Right.
25th.
Right.
And at this point, we're hoping that, everything goes well. And then for them, for the public hearing, what are we gonna set it for?
I think we have to set it as quickest we can do it for them to accommodate them until April 8th.
Yeah, but is that the town board meeting? The second
Yes, it
Tuesday?
is.
Second Tuesday, yeah, you're not gonna be able to.
Can't do that.
Well, what about? Can we do a Monday? Or no, not really. I'm just asking just to,
You probably
we do?
should,
Crystal,
Crystal,
Which one do you want?
like the 7th.
the 7th,
April?
April.
No, because if anything comes before the ZBA, that's their night to have their meeting.
Okay,
How about on the 8th and earlier meeting, before the town board?
no, that's.
They meet
okay.
at 6:30.
I mean,
They meet at
6:30,
6:30.
How about after the town board midnight?
They can do April 1st.
But that's not enough time. He said,
Oh,
Ken, right, Ken,
well,
the first? April 1st.
Crystal says we can get, what's the, in order to get the
Yeah, but
public
the
hearing
30
notice
days.
published.
okay.
Well, that's the question, but I mean, maybe the county comes back on polls is all.
County always comes back in time, yeah. They aren't a problem.
Yes, have a paper.
What's the earliest? What's the?
That's the notice that tomorrow it will be out. What's the date of it?
Today's Tuesday,
Today's Tuesday, so it will be in the next Democrat, which just comes out.
Friday,
Right.
Friday.
which is
Democrat
way
comes
more than
out
5
twice a
days
week.
before the.
And that's what we've been using for a lot of the town board meetings and stuff,
Mhm.
just because the reporter takes way too long for it to come out.
So if you publish this Friday, which is the 7th, right?
It'll come out Monday.
Monday,
Tuesday.
so that's,
So you can hold that public hearing any time after the 12th of March. 5 days, it's a 5 day, but that's not gonna be enough time for them.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
so you're not gonna have if you can hold the public hearing
on the 25th, like. we
on the
normally-
25th, like you want, the only question is whether the county's gonna be back in time. If they're not, you're just gonna have to sit until, and then if it comes in, then you could decide if you wanna hold a special meeting. and
Goes
when-
to UDC,
Right?
Yeah.
or we
It is-
could approve, subject to the county coming in.
No,
They haven't,
you can't really do that because if the county, you know, but if the county comes back and they say approve, say they recommend disapproval, or they recommend approval with modification or something like that.
Mhm.
they sent last time approval with something about the driveways and so on, but that all,
Yeah, I mean, because that's what their issue
Been
will
done
be, is if
according
they're
to
gonna have an
their-
issue, it's gonna be the multiple driveways into off of the highway.
but you set everything up before.
Has the
what
plan
they said
changed
last
from
time.
the last venture that you were looking to do, as far as the driveways or anything like that? Nothing's changed, so it's been, so as you were gonna open with the juice bar, it was gonna, it's the same. I mean, I don't think the state's gonna come back and say something different than contrary to what they just said.
Well, they were concerned about the entrance of the side road and all that.
Right, no, and we're,
Unfortunately, what the county does, the planning agency does, is they will refer this they'll either refer it to the county DPW if it was a county road, or they'll refer it to the state DPW because it's a state road in this instance, and
Right,
wait for something to come back from them before they respond.
we got all that last time. so
Right.
Yeah, yeah. you're right.
Now, if they'll just rely on what they had, I mean, you know, we can't speak for them, we just don't
Mhm.
know.
call it Charlie Coulter, down together now.
So do you want to at least do for the 25th and just set it, and then if we don't,
I mean, there's nothing reason why you can't hold the public
yeah,
hearing.
right,
You
exactly,
don't have to have the county response to hold the public
okay,
hearing,
Correct. If you open the public hearing at your next planning board meeting,
right?
you can leave it open if you
we have
needed to,
Or close it.
or
Close
close it. And just set a temporary special meeting.
And then, yeah, and then
Like the following week.
what you could do is you could check that day with
Can we set that other special meeting right now, for
Sure you
April
could.
1st,
Sure.
if you will? This way it gives you a little longer, or
Yeah.
April, whatever.
so
Sure.
we're gonna set
I
it
think
for
it's
the,
canceled.
so we could do the 25th as the public hearing, And then we'll set another meeting for the first, just
We
in,
have to.
if we do it now, the first, or no?
Well, if you do it now, that way Crystal and
So
Amy will have all the
everybody's aware
information
of
they
it,
need
and
to
then we could
notice
always
the.
put it out.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Fifth meeting, you always cancel.
Okay.
Your next meeting.
Right.
It's easy to cancel a meeting.
Then to
and
notice
Okay.
it, yeah.
Right, so if
Is that
stuff comes
okay?
back, then
Yeah.
we can just move ahead.
We're gonna set for the 25th is the regular, that'll be our regular meeting plus the public hearing. And then we'll set the first as a special meeting
in case
if,
you need
in case we need it.
But it's only 29 days to the first.
Yes,
So I think we have to move to Wednesday or Thursday of that week.
to never have Thursday.
how about
You can
Wednesday?
have Wednesdays. You want Wednesday, you can have Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah, there's 31 days and we're on the fourth and that's the third, so that should be 30,
Okay,
probably 31.
It'd be the second, April 2nd.
April 2nd?
Oh, that's Wednesday. I thought that was Tuesday.
No, the first is Tuesday.
Your calendar. This is me on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get your own. Well, no,
I think the
because
second.
it doesn't have lines. That's 1 week.
They did an update. Okay, so you want to do Wednesday the second as a special meeting, correct?
Tentatively, yeah.
Tentatively.
That
There you
all right?
go. Is that
Yes.
okay with everybody?
Right with you? Fine.
So we're gonna do the public here, if.
We can get everything done on the 25th, good.
I
Good,
appreciate you trying to
Yeah.
move it along as fast as possible.
you got that? Just one in? Yeah. All right,
So April 2nd.
well, the 25th is the regular planning board meeting and the public hearing.
Right.
And then we'll hold a special meeting, if we have to, on Wednesday, April 2nd.
What time?
What time?
7:30
What day of the week is the other meeting, the first meeting?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, the
Tuesday.
normal planning board meeting
No,
would be
it's-
Tuesday,
it's-
And
time of the public hearings, 7:25?
7:24,
Okay.
yep. Mhm.
Well, we'll make a motion to that. You
Yeah.
wanna make
You
that
wanna make
motion?
your sure.
I make a motion that we move forward with a public hearing for our next scheduled meeting, which is the March 25th at 7:25.
I'll second.
Motion is second on the floor for public hearing. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And then we have to make another motion for a special meeting, correct? All right,
Go ahead.
go ahead, you guys can do it. I would make a motion, I'll second it.
Can I make the motion?
Yeah,
you
John.
go right
Okay, I'll make the motion that we schedule a tentative special meeting for April 2nd at 7:30 PM.
Not seconded.
I'll
second.
Okay, motion on the floor to set a special meeting for April 2nd if needed.
Mhm.
Seconded. Any comments?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay,
Is that all you have to mail?
good,
Mary,
yes,
when did the letters need to be delivered to the people in the area, 500 feet of the?
As soon as possible.
ASAP,
Yeah, you do it tomorrow.
yeah, do it tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
didn't know if they needed to get them by a certain, I would do it as quickly as possible.
If you
but I
can do
didn't
it
know
as
if
soon as
No, as long as you
possible.
have the
Is there a
date.
list from the previous app?
Hopefully you have it.
Valerie. Yeah, I think so.
Season
It wasn't many of them.
No,
Not
not
a lot
as
of
many
stuff.
as when you do downtown. If you did were around Tustin Cup, it's 100, but
Yeah.
there it isn't so
We
bad.
have, I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't many.
No, I remember figuring it out with it. You can look at the map and do it.
Can you do it, Ginny?
Oh,
Yeah. Okay,
I think I
right.
just threw that list off my desk a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Anything else? What are we up to here?
That's good. Okay. Okay,
Close the night.
yes,
Any board comments?
You did a fabulous job.
Any public comments?
Can we poll the audience and see if everybody doesn't have a conflict for that date, so that we're not scheduling it? Or we don't have a quorum, I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about. us.
Oh, I thought you said.
Does anybody on the board have no conflict for the 25th?
Nope.
no,
Okay.
no.
All right.
Mary should be back.
Okay. We're a little
Yeah,
short-handed, so
Yeah,
I don't wanna leave these people on and then we can't establish quorum.
We have to have five, we should have five here
We should
because
have-
Mike get them instead.
I'll just drag Johnny in my own condition.
you gotta do something.
I'll drinking with Coop, I have.
You need at least four. You need at least four.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't have one of those.
And then you, and if all four are here, if you only got four, you need unanimity. Everybody's got a veto.
We're pretty good about agreeing with each
Yeah, pretty much so. Okay, anything else?
No, we've had comments,
Anything else?
and we've covered
I make a motion, we adjourn?
Second that.
Okay,
All right, good. There you go.
pass that.